starting to use the past continuous, this basic tense. Last time we have seen the past simple, but today we are going to see the past continuous. We are going to see when to use it and what mistakes to avoid. Well, as you may know, we use the past continuous to talk about something that started and continued in the past. Look at the diagram on the board. Well, we have past tenses. We have first actions that happened at a specific point, and that is the past simple. Example, I worked. He worked. She worked. They worked. This is the past simple. Whereas the past is an action that, the past continuous is an action that continued during a period of time. So here we want to emphasize on how long it continued. Okay? Look at the diagram. We have 9 a.m., 9 p.m. This is from 9 to 5 is a past continuous. Now we are 8 a.m. We can say, I started work at 9. I finished work at 5 p.m. These two sentences are in the past simple, so these are specific points. 9 a.m., 5 p.m. are specific points. But if I say, I was working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., here you emphasis on the period of time 9 to 5. Okay? These are specific, this is a continuous action in the past. I was working from 9 to 5. I was watching TV. Okay? Now let's see the form or the structure of the past continuous. Well, as you may know, we have the past continuous is formed by subject plus the past form of to be, that is was or were, plus the stem plus ing. Well, I remind you that the stem is the infinitive without to. Positive form. What do we have here in the positive form? When we have I, he, or she, or it, we have the past form of to be, that is was, plus stem plus ing. We say, I was working. He was working. She was working. It was working. But you were working. We were working. They were working. So, with I, he, she, it, we use was. With you, we, they, we use were. Same thing for the negative form. The only difference is that you add the negative word that is not. So I say, I was not working. He was not working. She was not working. Okay? But you were not working. They weren't working. This is the contraction or the abbreviation if you want. They were not working. As for the interrogative form or the questions, here we are going to change the word order. That is, in the positive and negative form, we have subject plus the auxiliary to be. In the question form, we have the auxiliary to be, then we have the subject. So, was I working? Was he working? Was she working? Were you working? Were they working? And so on and so forth. Note that in questions you can begin, you can use question words like where, when, why, how long. What you have to do is to add them just add them or put them at the beginning. So you can say, when were you working? Or how long was he working? Okay? Well, dear pupils, let's go to the different uses of the past continuous. First of all, we use to express a continuing action during a period of time. So, if I say, I was studying all day, here all day is a period of time. All day means, for example, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and so on and so forth. Second example, to describe a continuing action during a moment. For example, at 11 a.m. I was sleeping. So here you can say, for example, I tried to call you last night, but you didn't answer. And you say, oh, I was sleeping. Okay? See, to describe a continuing action when interrupted. And here we have the two past tenses, that is the past continuous and the past simple. We have two past tenses, that is something happened in the middle, so we have a continuous action interrupted by sudden one, that is the past simple. So, I was planning to call you, they were having dinner, this is a continuous action, when we arrived. We arrived is a sudden action. For another example, we can say, I was watching TV when the bell rang. Okay, so watching is a continuous action. I didn't stop watching TV. Or they didn't stop having dinner, they continued. But they were interrupted by our arrival. Okay? We can also use the past simple in some point in the past, or you are thinking or planning to do something. In this example, I was planning to call you, but I didn't have time. I was planning, but I didn't do it because I had no time. Okay? Next, you can also use the past continuous in polite request with a particular expression. For example, I was wondering if you could help me. You can say also, I was thinking if you could help me. Okay? So here I'm asking you to help me politely. As for the contractions, you know that contractions are to put two or three words into one. So was, not are two words. We put it into one word, wasn't. What we have to do is to omit the O and replace it by an apostrophe. Were not becomes weren't. Example, I wasn't watching. They weren't sleeping. So we cancel or take off or omit the O. As for the spelling, well, I know that in most verbs, we add ing. Example, to talk becomes talking. To watch becomes watching. But in verbs ending in E, what you have to do is to drop or to omit the E and add the ing form. As you see, the verb to make ends in an E, so omit the E and add ing. It becomes making. Same thing for take, taken. For verbs ending in IE, we have to drop or to omit the IE, add a Y, so we can replace the IE by a Y plus the ing form. Tie, tying. Lie, lying. And for verbs ending in CVC, I have told you CVC means verbs ending in consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay? So if you see the verb to jog, you have consonant, the G is a consonant, the O is a vowel, the J is a consonant. What do we have to do here? Well, here we have to double the last letter. In jog we have to double the G, and in sit we have to double the T. And we add the ing form. So jog becomes jogging, sit becomes sitting. Now let's see when we can't use the past continuous tense. Consider the following examples. Sentence number 1. I was knowing him for many years. Well, in this sentence, it's wrong to say I was knowing, because the verb to know is a stative verb. It is not an action verb. It is a stative verb. So we cannot use the ing form with this verb. Consider sentence B. She was hating spiders. In this sentence, it's wrong to say was hating, because hate or to hate is an emotional stative verb. So we cannot use the ing form. Sentence C. The verb, what does it say? What does the sentence say? They were owning a big house. It's wrong to use the continuous form with the verb to own, because this verb describes possession or ownership verb. It is an ownership or possession verb. In sentence D, we were wanting to call you. So, it's wrong to say desire, want. Okay? You cannot say I'm wanting, or I was wanting, or I was desiring, or you were desiring. Okay? This is wrong. Same thing for sentence 5 or E. She was needing to catch her fly. So we say she needed to catch her fly, not she was needing. We cannot use the ing form here. For 6, he was having a computer, possession verb. So it is wrong. But in the last sentence, she was having fun. We can say he was having a party, he was having fun. We don't use these tense with stative verbs, but we can say he was having fun. Now, let us practice these tense. Spot the mistake and correct it. I'm studying when you called. He was relaxing. She was baking a cake. When you were going to call, you waited a long time. He talking to a client. I was believing you. So here we have different mistakes. It can be spelling mistake, it can be tenses, and so on and so forth. So number 1. In sentence number 1, we have a wrong tense. We don't say I'm studying when you called. You called in the past. So before you called, I was studying. Not I am studying. I'm studying is the present continuous. So before you called, I was studying. So the correct form of the verb is was studying. Sentence number 2, we was relaxing. As you know, we have seen before that we, and they, we do not use was. We use were. So we say we were relaxing, not we was relaxing. Sentence 3, she was baking a cake. So we have the auxiliary to be in the past. We have stand plus ing. You may say it's a correct form, but no. Here it is not a mistake in the tense form, but it's a mistake in spelling. As you remember, I told you before that in verbs ending in E, we omit the E and we add the ing. So here we say, she was baking the cake, you omit the E. So it is a spelling mistake. In sentence number 4, when you were going to call, as you may see at the end we have a question mark, yes. And what did we say about the interrogative form? We said that we change the word order, that is the subject and the auxiliary to be. So what shall we say? When, good, that's it. When were you going to call? When were you going to call? Sentence number 4, you have noticed, I know you have noticed that there is a missing word. You waited a long time, it is a question. And what is missing? Yes, that's it. It's the auxiliary to be in the past. So what do we say? Were you waiting a long time? Or were you waiting for a long time? So we add the auxiliary to be in the past, that is were. And it comes at the beginning before the subject. In sentence number 6, also we have a missing word. The missing auxiliary to be in the past is missing. We don't say he talking to a client. We say he was talking to a client. Okay? And in the last sentence, I was believing you. The verb to believe cannot be used in the past continuous or in the progressive form. Well, for instance, you can say the past continuous or the past progressive because there's progression in time. We say, I believe you. Okay, so here we use the past sentence. So the correction, for the first one, we say I was studying. For the second sentence, we were relaxing. For sentence 3, baking, there is a spelling mistake, so we omit the E. For sentence 4, when were you going? So the word order. In sentence 5 and 6, there is a missing word, so the auxiliary is missing. In 5, it is missing at the beginning because it's an interrogative form. And in sentence 6, it's between the subject and the verb ing form. And the last sentence, we have to believe, that cannot be used in the progressive form. And we use instead the past simple. Well, that's all for today, dear pupils. See you in the next lesson. I hope you are keeping well. Goodbye.